my crafty friends, NanaKaye here with NanaKaye Designs and the Older Book Nook on Etsy. I am going to try to do a tutorial today on adding a wrap. And when I say a wrap, that means it's going to be something that you can insert between on this edge here, on an edge, and it'll wrap around. So this is going to be a wrap around clip here, okay? And how many pockets it's going to have, I don't know, because what I'm going to do with this is we're going to freelance. Now, what you see on my desk is a pile of stuff, but it's not junk. I'm not going to call my work junk. These are the pockets and things that I've already lined the backings of, so we'll be pulling from that. And over here, I'm going to move my other two signatures because we're not going to work but on the first one. We're still working on the first one. So I have stuff here to my right. And over here, I have some additional clip art that I haven't cut out yet, but it's not mine. It came from, oh gosh, now here I am. Let me go look. I'm going to tell you where it came from. I have to flip my computer a second. I hope that I'm still on here, but I want to go in here and I want to tell you who this person is, because I am just feeling that we really should always give people credit when you're going to use their stuff. That way, if you like little fussy cut clip art, you can go to it and get it. And I'm having to go into my purchases on my computer right this second, so that's where I'm at. The name of the shop, this is Carolyn's Musings. So I will put her down below on the thing, on my introduction down there when we get this video done. So that's who it is, though. It's Carolyn's Musings on Etsy. Now this is fussy cut stuff that I am using from her. I'm going to use some of that. I'm not sure I'm going to use it today, but I am going to be using it. I like it. It's some beautiful bright, and it matches our design. Now you'll find with me, I do that a lot. As I have told y'all many times, I buy a lot of my clip art. Well, all of my clip art, 99% of it comes off of Etsy. So I'm going to try to be more conscious of mentioning the people or artists that I use their work. So that's number one of them, and that's who I happen to be dealing with today. So Carolyn, Musings, Musings, and like I say, I will put it below in my descriptions. What I am starting out with is just an 8.5 by 11 double-sided. And I don't even know yet whether it has to be double-sided. Like I say, this is a freelance. We're doing this as we go. So I don't even know how it's going to turn out myself. If it turns out bad, you won't ever see this. If you're looking at this, then it must have gone all right. But what I did is the 8.5 by 11. Then I first folded it in half the long way. And then again, I turn around and fold it and then folded it in half. Now, when you're folding these, the more you fold, the more things want to get out of alignment. So just kind of watch your alignment as you're folding. But then I folded it again the other way. And just really, I'm having to really press down to keep my edges like they're supposed to be. And I'm really pressing down. Now, my initial thought on this, I love this. We're going to put this right here on the second page of the first signature that I'm working on. You know, we've already done the middle, and I've got it paper clipped in there because I can't stitch it in yet. We've done that middle one. That was yesterday's video. Okay, so we're going to use the coffee stain paper that I've added. This will be a wraparound that comes around right there. And I will probably put it in the middle. You know, there's an option of putting it lower or higher. But that's what I think I want it on this one. Now, I am going to come back and, well, today we're going to go ahead and stencil that page too. So I'm going to pull this out. And then we're going to lay the rest of it over here to the side so that we don't mess with it, okay? So we're going to work with this page, this back side. This is going to wrap here when we're complete. We're going to stencil it in a little while. I'm not going to get up and do that right now. And right now I'm seeing where my fold didn't come exactly even. Now there's two ways to worry with that. You can pull it up and really put your finger down here and hold it tight and refold it, because it's such a minute amount that it's not going to make an extra crease. Make sure you've got it right. And now I've got a little bit out of balance in that corner. I'm going to try to do just a little more. I don't understand why it's not folding right, but we're going to deal with it. And we're going to test it again. Let's see if we got it right that time. It looks even, and when we fold, it looks even. So it's pretty even all the way around. Okay, so this is how your initial fold is going to be. Fold it up in half first, then over again. This is 8.5 by 11, so this is, and the A4 I guess will do the same way. It doesn't matter, but anyway, that's your fold. Now what you're really going to want to end up with here, you're wanting to end up with, oh, what in the world have I done here? Okay. Goodness. I don't know why that did that, but anyway, like I say, we're freelancing, so it looks to me like, oh, there, I folded it backwards to where I was. Okay. Excuse me. Once you get it folded, it's kind of rough if you unfold it and lose your track. But anyway, here we go. Now, we're going to make this a pocket right here, and we're going to make this a pocket. So I just kind of tip it over like this to see where my center was, and then I took my circle punch right here, and I punched out my circle here to give me my thumb grabs, or my tags and all that's my thumb notch. Alright, now we are going to, we got another option here. I've done a lot of intricate sewing on this thing, on this particular journal, and I like this side better, so I'm flipping it over. On the other side, I like this lighter color. You just have to overlook me. Like I say, I'm freelancing, so things will change a little right here in front of your eyes. But anyway, we're going to glue this side here. Go ahead and glue it down. Now you can glue it down with stick glue and then sew it if you want. I go ahead and use my regular glue, and I'm using it a very thin line right across there. I really don't want to lose hardly any of my excess space for my card, journaling card, or my tag. I'm sure I'm going to put a big card in this because it's going to be a pretty big edge. But I'm going down this edge first to get it sealed. I am not going to seal the center because when I stitch it into the book, the center is going to get stitched in anyway. So I'm not going to do that right now unless I feel like when I get it looking at it that it needs to be done. And now for me, and this is my preference, I'm going to go in and I'm going to stitch, I know at least down this side, to match the book, because when you put it in here you lose your stitch. So I am going to go ahead and stitch this so that it'll match, and then I may break bad and stitch more. If I do, I will probably unglue it to do it, but we'll see, because anything beyond this will be additional decoration. So give me just a second, I'm going to stitch and I'll be right. Okay, I'm back. As I told you guys when I started doing this introduction on this particular journal, and when we were doing the centerfold, I told you that I had stitched all the way around because I wanted to make this journal real intricate. And I have done that, I think, by doing all the way around. By doing all the way around, I've just added a lot of extra touch to it. So I've gone in and I have sewn down the side of this one, and I don't know if I'm going to go all the way around because my coffee paper is a little fragile, so all that decorative on there I'm not sure I'm going to go with, especially on the stencil. So that's an if. And this is the piece that we're working behind. Okay, so anyway, I opened that back up because I am going to make things a little more intricate. Now, understand, I know that a lot of you do not have a sewing machine, so you wouldn't be doing this extent, but I decided to sew all the way around on this, like this, with a beautiful decorative stitch that I usually use. So I undone it and I sewed. So this is my inside, and I've sewn all the way around. So on every single part of this pocket is sewn all the way around to match the rest of the journal. Like again, I say it's going to wrap right here. Excuse my spring bouncing, and that kind of makes a blend when you put it back in the book. The stitching kind of follows through. Okay, just aesthetics, nothing that has to be done. You can just simply glue this pocket if you want to and be done with it. Now, the next step I'm going to add is some, on this particular pocket, I'm going to add corner protectors. Not that they're needed for this, that's what I'm going to do, but because they are just strictly decorative, we're going to go ahead and glue it back down, just along that edge. And hopefully this glue, the stitching won't get in the way of our card sliding out, but we'll deal with that journey when we get there. If it's something else we have to do, we'll do something to correct it. But we're going to go in with this. Take the spreader and really seal it. Okay, I think that's pretty tight now. Alright, now what I'm going to do, on the bottom corners, you don't have to do anything except slide the corner tab on and glue it. There's two of them there. Separate them. I've already stained mine, and like I say, you can get this in the kit. You can cut them out and do them, and they're optional. They're not something you have to have. This is just one of my trademark steps that I do on my stuff, just to get a little extra strength and a little extra aesthetics. Alright, you don't have to do anything on that edge to the corner tab, and you don't have to do anything extra on this one. Just go ahead and glue both of these on. Okay. Okay, so those corner tabs are on. Now, we need one here and one here, so what we're going to do is just open it up and glue it right there at the same fold line. You're going to fold this. Well, let's do it this way, since that's the way it's going to fold. We can glue it right there. So you're going to put it here like this, and you can go ahead and turn it back like this and put it there as a folded item. And I tap it down so I can make sure I'm kind of getting along that edge, and then I start squeezing. Okay, so now it should open and fold like it's supposed to. You're going to get a little lump there while it's wide open, but it doesn't matter, because once you put it in the book, it's not going to be opened up like this. It's going to be wrapped, okay? So that got done that way, and you can do the same thing on this corner up here, I think. Let me look, make sure I'm not going crazy here. Yes, we can do it on this corner up here. Have to do it again on the inside too, if you're going to put the corner tabs in the middle of the inside. Again, it's all a matter of the look you're wanting to get. I'm just kind of framing out with these corner protectors, this pocket flip here. Okay, so that's got that one. Now, so on this one, it's going to be the opposite. You're just going to glue it in like this. Oh, can you see me gluing? I'm sorry. I need to get in frame. The problem with getting in frame, sometimes if I don't watch it, my head gets in frame too, and that's what we don't want. My husband is building my mount, I hope, because this is driving me crazy, this camera mount situation. I don't know if you're aware, I moved from one part of my studio to another with the camera because the lighting was better in this room, which today I feel like I'm getting a little bit too much sun through there. Okay, so there's that one, that one, that one, and that one. I think we've got those 3 done inside and out. Now, we cannot, on this edge, do this because we're going to knock off, it'll knock off that much of the space. So, I can't, what I'm going to do, just to make sure everything's balanced, I'm going to put it in and then we're going to slice it. But if it's easier for you to do it this way, just take it and go ahead and cut it in half. And I really feel like that's the safest way for me to do it, is just to cut it in half. And these will just be glued on separately like this. So then you can just take a single piece and glue it on. I got a little string hanging out there I don't like, so we will be cutting that off after I get this in place because this glue dries quick and you don't want it to dry on you. Okay, so I got a piece of thread. I open it up on the inside, same corner with the other piece. Glue it on. Try to get it in place. I tap along this edge here with the back of my fingernail. Just kind of make sure I'm getting in place. Then I'll press down. That corner should be intact, both sides. Got a little bit hanging over, so we are going to trim her out. I will come back with the ink. There we go. Okay. Alright. Now, same thing, center corner. You're going to have 2 of them. But I think we're going to be able to do the same thing since it's on a fold. I think we're going to be able to do the same thing again, right here. It's just going to fold out differently than before. So just, I don't think we have to cut these 2 a piece apart, but you're going to do 2 here. I'm going to do 1 here. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of slide it in like this. Tap it down so I'm getting a good grip on my corner here, I think. And it looks like we're trying to go a little uneven, but I got to try to stay in that middle so it folds properly. Let's make sure we didn't mess up there. We didn't. Okay, let's smooth it out a little. Okay. That one's done. Front, back. There you go. So far. And it didn't mess up our pocket at all. Got 1 more corner, so we're going to cut another one in half. Gently. Trying to stay right in that middle. Okay. And glue it down. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Little corner tabs on it. Thread sticking up, we're going to cut off. No problem. Oh, that one slid on me. That's a no-no, right? It's got to at least touch the top. It slid a little bit. I'm going to try to fix it. The berry glue, you know, dries quickly, so let me try to pull that corner up. There we go. Truly blessed. Didn't mess up. Okay. Okay. Got a little trimming to do right there. Get that thread off. Thread off right there. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to go get my glasses. There we go. Alright, so we've got it all done again. I want to take my smoothing tool here and press really good again. Make sure I get all my fold lines back down tight again. We don't want it curling up, turning over. There we go. Alright, so now the base is done of our wraparound pocket. Okay, so that's the base done. Now, all a matter of is deciding if we want to add more pockets and what decoration. So, for the most part, it's done. I'm a little concerned about the inside here. So, I'm going to tell you guys, if you want, I'm not going to try to do it now, but if you want to sturdy up the tops of your pockets before you do your thumb trim out, always put a little piece of another piece of paper behind it, just to give it a little extra strength. I think we're going to be good for right now, because I used a heavy grade brochure paper, so I think, well, I'm okay. All right, next is deciding what we want to do here. Do we want another pocket? Do we just want graphics? What do we want to do here? I had cut out another pocket somewhere earlier. Okay, this. I had done this earlier. And then I thought, well, no, that's just too much. So we're not going to use that as a pocket there. But you can always just do some pretty graphic on this, like this. And with this is one of the journaling cards. I am able to just glue here, here, and here, pop out another thumbnail here or not, and then on that one we can just add, I know I've got some small ones in here, so when I want small, I don't seem to be able to grab them. Okay. Oh, I like this one even better. And then use it, okay. I like that, but I gotta have some small journaling card, a small journaling card. It can just slide into the pocket there. I'll come down here and we'll lose my stitching. Or we can open it from the side and find something that'll slide in from the side. Or we can make this a flip up, another flip. Let's think about that, all right? I should have some more smaller cards somewhere in this pile of stuff. If I don't, it's time to go make some. And that's not hard to do either. Just to, all of a sudden, but if I'm using that, this could slide in this way. I think that's what we're going to do here. I think I'm going to make this a side pocket right here on the front. Okay, well, let's do it. We are freelancing, so let's see how it turns out. It is what it is, right, guys? Because here we go. All right, I want my pull to be on this side here, so I'm going to glue the other three sides. Like so. Okay? I'm going to put it down in the center right here. Oh, I should have done my thumb thing, shouldn't have. Okay, that's all right. We can still do it. I'm just going to estimate the center. Hopefully I can get it pretty close, and I don't want a great big thumb pull, but we do want one. Okay, let's go back and put it back right down where we had it. My glue's not quite dry, so we can grab it, hopefully. Okay. Alright, so I have my side pull pocket right there. And my journal card, when it dries, it's going to slide in, and I may have to make it a little... Nope, I think it's going to be fine. So, now, that's what we've done there. We can add some other elements to it. I've got a few elements I've done here. Do I want a ribbon strip on it? I don't think so. Do I want a button? Maybe so. Maybe a line of buttons. It's kind of cute. Now, you know, this is going to add extra bulk. So that's one thing I have to really think about when I'm adding these things. Do I want this much extra bulk? Because this is already, by the time I get the cards in there, let's hold off on a button. I don't think I want a button. I can do a pretty piece of glaze. I can do a pretty piece of ribbon. There's a lot of other things we can do to decorate that up and to bring out some more color. I'm just experimenting here to see what I've got. I can just do a strip with a piece of actual lace, and it's not quite as wide. You know what? I can make that thinner by cutting it in half. Now, alright, I want to think about what else I want to do so y'all just overlook my craziness. I'm going to cut me a piece of this off right quick. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Whoops, that we didn't want to do, did we? Wasn't a main disaster, but bad enough, noise-wise. I'm sorry. I'm trying to lean over and pick up while I'm videoing. I guess that's just not a good thing, but we may need some of this stuff. So, let's do that. Alright, I do have something that's a little flatter that may work. Yes, and that kind of decorates it up. So I'm going to, I have the daisy ribbon, and I've got it in several colors, but today we're going to strictly work with the white. Okay, and I just cut a piece of that off. And I'm going to cut another one off right there. Set that aside a minute, trim it up. And that's what I'm going to add to just give it a little bit of extra oomph, what I call oomph. Okay? So we're just going to make a little cluster of the fabric daisies right here in this corner. And I may need to use fabric tack, but for right now we're going to try my Barely Arts glue, see if it'll hold it. We'll just give it a chance. Okay, I kind of like that. That just kind of gives it just a little extra something right there in that. Alright, don't press too hard. Give that a minute to dry. That gives it that extra, and it's not going to hold like as quickly as I want it. So I'm going to have to get my fabric tack out. I got my fabric tack in, and I'm going to remind you guys again, winter is coming. And if you use Art Glitter Glue and some of the other brands as your favorite glue, don't forget to go ahead and order a supply of it for the winter, because my understanding is my understanding is Art Glitter Glue is not glue. They don't ship to real cold regions in the winter. So keep that in mind and get your glue ordered. Some things you just gotta get yourself ahead of time, and glue is something, of course, you know, we're dealing with paper. We can't do without our glue. So get your glues ordered. And I'm not sure about fabric tack, whether they are shipping in cold regions during the winter. But I've gone ahead and ordered a little bit of supply of my glue ahead, just in case. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Okay, let's move on. Now we got a tag. We want to go in here, and that should be about dry. So let's make sure we're gonna slide in like we want it to. Okay, I want to cut some of it off. I don't want it to be quite that long, because I'm going to put a pull tab on it. So I want it to slide in as far down as I can get it to slide, so that my pull tab is basically what's showing. Okay, so I need to cut off, it looks like, almost a ½ inch. So what we'll do is come up here, line her up, and I'm going to cut about 1/4 off the top, and then I'll cut some off the bottom. Right there. And my blade is not where it belongs, but it's in the other drawer. I have 2 cups up here that I keep my pencils and things in, and my blades. I try to keep everything as close by as I can, but after a while, my desk space is low. I did put me a new desk up here, as I told you earlier. It's got pegboard, and unfortunately, I haven't even got my pegboard set up yet with the stuff that I want to put on it. Okay, so let's cut off just a tiny bit off this bottom, but I do not want to cut off the any of the jar. So I'm trying to be real cautious there, because that jar is part of the intricate part of the design here. Oops, I got a little bit off. We can do it again. My cutting mat is not liking me today. I am not long before having to have a new mat. I cannot live without my mat. I'm going to come back in and restain this card a little. Since we cut some of it off. Okay, we've restained it. The blade back so we know where it is next time. Alright, we're going to put a little pull tab on here. Yes, perfect. Alright, so, what do we want, guys? Don't you think this would be pretty? Alright, let's try it. I've never done it, so we're going to try something a little different for a pull tab, and we'll try a flower. Okay. Paper tack. Back in hand. A nice blob on that side. It is really getting tacky, and I know why they call it paper tack now, because it is really tacky right now. After I've had it open for a while, this is how it gets for me, and I close it, so I don't know why it gets that way, but that's alright, it's still usable so far. Alright, let's put that about halfway. Okay, come on, you gotta make sure that you're gonna be able to fold it over and join it up. Okay, that's my pull tab, guys. Needed to try before I can experiment with it, but I hope we got enough paper towel on it. Doesn't look like we did, though. Okay. Don't y'all just love freelancing? I really didn't plan any of this out. Sometimes I sit here when I get to doing this thinking, I should have planned this out, but I don't do well with planning because then nothing seems to go right. So I'm better off making my boo-boos just so you guys see the reality of crafting. And I have to say, I may be the boo-boo queen. But there's one thing for sure. I'm not going to tell you that I don't make boo-boos, because if I did, I wouldn't be being honest. And that's the great part, is being able to, really the genius of it is being able to hide your boo-boos without having to lose your whole project. Okay, that's going to have to dry a few minutes before we slide it back in. But I feel like that's going to be a cute pull right there. That's how it's going to come out of the pocket. I hope it's got enough depth to carry that extra. We're going to try it sliding in, and just to see. I want to make sure it's going to slide behind that card like I had planned on it doing, and now it doesn't seem to want to go. Okay, but anyway, I know it went earlier, so we're just going to pop a little bit of it out here and stretch it. Another good reason to have a good button folder or a smoothing tool is to be able to stretch these pockets a little bit when they're wanting to give you a hard time. And the reason I'm not able to push and tug it yet is because that's just not dry, but I think that's going to do it. So we're going to leave it there for like a second, and if it'll go further in after it dries good, we'll push it back in, but you got to remember it's wet on both sides, so we don't want to adhere it right this minute to our other part. Alright, now I do want to stain this top a little. Everything needs to be restained again since we've done all this designing and pulling. Okay, and that is one side of the page that's going to have it. So that's what we got so far. I love it. Hope you like it. Okay, on the inside, next we've got to find a design to go here. And I believe I'm just going to do some fussy cutting in there. I don't know what. I think I want to try to put part of this in. Okay. I'm not sure I want to get all that pink, but I'm kind of just getting my head together about what I want. I definitely do not want to lose, so I don't want this part of the pink flower. Get my thing to cut later. Okay, guys, I'm going to do just a little bit of fussy cutting, if y'all will bear with me. You'll find yourself, probably as time goes on, doing a whole lot of this kind of cutting. Kind of lost my idea on my design here, so I'm going to go a little deeper into the cut. Kind of cutting it like a sticker, guys, with a little edge around the actual graphic there. And really, I'm not going to do too intricate cutting until I see if this is what I'm wanting. Okay. Kind of want to go in here with it. I want to make a tuck spot. Okay. So, let's go here. And we're going to have to actually put some heavier grade on the back end of this to make it a tuck spot. Probably some 110 pound. Yeah, I'm cutting, guys. I'm cutting off screen. But the way my setup is right now, it's a little hard for me to cut on screen. So I apologize without getting my head all in or shaking the desk. One day I'll have all this set up right. Maybe. And maybe not. Maybe you'll just have to get used to my quirks and shakes and stuff. I don't know. Alright, there we go. Cut it out. And I wanted it kind of to go like that. And I want it to be a tuck spot. And I don't care if it goes a little bit over the stitching. Alright, that's what we're going with, I think. We're going to make me a little tuck spot right there. Now, in order, I'm going to glue this with a piece of cardstock, guys. Give me just a second. Either that or another backing, but I preferably want a piece of cardstock. And if I got to do all that intricate cutting, let's go ahead and close that up. If I do all that intricate cutting, I just won't have to do it one time because they don't want to bore you to death at all. And I have decided to limit my videos, or either do like some of the others do and make a little bit now and do a little bit more later. But the problem is, the last one I did that way, when I got it all spliced together, it was an hour and 50-some minutes. And I just don't think I can keep everybody's attention that long. That's a long time to watch a video. A lot of people don't have that kind of time, I don't think. But we'll see. I mean, we can always divide this project into 1, 2, and 3 videos, which to me seems like would be the better thing to do. Just like we do the journal, we break it into several parts. So this way, maybe what we're getting ready to do here is break this into several parts. Okay. Okay, let me get on this desk so you're just not seeing a blank screen here. You know what? For the sake of the video, guys, I'm gonna cut it off while I'm cutting this out, because you know the process, and I'll be right back. Okay, I went in and I was cutting. I just cut pink flower off. I didn't like it. We are actually going to make this a tuck spot right here with this design. And I don't want it turned this way because I have nothing to put here. All right, I'm going down this way with it. Now, we're going to first stain it up. I do see a little bit of white peeking through. Don't want any white showing, so we're going to all right, I've stained it a little bit. Now, we only want this part right here to be open so we can tuck something. So we're going to come right along this edge here, starting at this point, and I'm going to put glue right there, just maybe a quarter of an inch in, and come up this side just a tiny bit, right there, up this side, right here, just a little, all across there, and that point. Okay, we're going to glue all that down. This is it. Wherever this falls this time is it. Tuck spot, right here. Okay. Smoothing tool. Okay, do we want to add one of our white daisies? No, not on this one. If we do, we'll cut out one. Okay, what we're going to do here now, we got to find a card to tuck in there. Kind of like the little van. Guys, what do you think? The kitten's cute. Yep, that's the one I want there. So there's where we're going to go with that one. Okay? I'm going to smooth it down one more time. Really strong. Push. Okay. Now, let's look at this. And it feels like it's pretty dry now. So we'll go back and stick that back where it belongs, and that part is over with, I think. Okay, there you go. See? So that one worked out well. So that's ready to go. And that back side's ready. Put our kitten in. All right, so now we just got to get this side and this side. And I think on this one, I'm just going to do a pretty decorative, oh man, I'm getting hoarse. Get a pretty decorative design right there. I don't know what it'll be. Where's my Fussy cut stuff? They're not big enough. They're tiny. We just need to find another journal card or something that's simple. Oh, that's pretty. I might have to cut some of it off, but I like that. There again, we don't want to lose. I could cut that out. It's a little too big. I wish I'd made that just a tiny bit smaller, which if I wasn't on a video, I could do that. I would go in and print me another small one. But I think this is the one I'm going to put right here. Okay, I'm going to grab my stain this edge, because I don't like that starkness right there. Stain it all the way around. Okay. And I don't think I'm going to make a pocket or anything out of it. Again, this is where you make decisions yourself. I'm not going to make a pocket, but that doesn't mean you can't make it into another pocket. You can do another side. You can do another side tuck here or whatever. I'm just going to make a pretty design here. And I think what I will come back and do after I get, I'm gonna slide it towards the middle like this. Then I'm going to come back with some kind of a label or saying and put over there. I don't have any cut out right now, so it's not going to work. But for me, this is my choice on mine. You make your decision to say you can make another pocket, no problem. But I'm going to just do a design here. Again, this also could have been a flip, but we'll do that again another time. I'm just going to make this a nice flat design here. And you know what? I do have some labels cut out, so let me see if I've got anything that would work there without spending a lot of time sorting through. Okay. Okay, now this one's pretty. It says just a breath of fresh air. I kind of like that. I'm going to put my thumb on that. The key to life is happiness, and I like that, and that really kind of makes, that kind of looks like a happy space there. So I'm almost sure that is the one I'm gonna do, and a flower blue. No, that's not the one I want. I like believe in yourself too. That's pretty. But I like the key to happiness. These little labels that I'm using come from another kit I bought from another designer. Again, these came from Angela Carr. Angela Kerr, I think is how her name. Anyway, they came from her. Again, I will put her link below because we're using her label. And there again, let me remind you, even if you buy my kit, there you can use other kits intermingled with this one, or you can take some of my designs and use it in somebody else's kit. You know, the sky is the limit when it comes to crafting with journaling stuff. There is just so many odds and ends you can do. So this is what we're going to do on this page. Simply done and simply complete. All right. That is a really happy looking place to me. Okay, so that one is done. I'm not seeing some good staining here on this corner, so I'm going to do that again. I like a little more stain. Get it antique looking. Okay, now this is done on the one side. This is the back side we're coming to now. And we're going to do a pocket here simply because it is another, that is going to be on the back side here when you do it, when you connect it. So that's going to flip open to there. So we're going to do a pocket here. But what pocket, I don't know yet. If this design was different, I would just simply take one of those. But I think I did every single one of these upright. Okay, let me get my little holders out of the way. If I could just find, I'm going to grab my whole stack and get it closer to me so I can, oh, that one would work that way. Not reverse straight up, okay. Let me look at what I've got here. My doggy's in the wrong way. Cat's too big. I see I'm going to have to narrow down my, that might be a good one to slide into something. So we'll hold that aside. Oh, I love this one. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's go with it. That's going to make a nice pocket right there. And again, I want the pocket to slide out this way. So we're going to glue from this side. So I'm going to take my punch and hopefully get it in the middle. Okay. I'm staining. I'm off a little, but that's okay. Okay. I'm going to draw the two threads that I don't guess. Hold it here, and I'm going to glue along this edge here. Oh gosh. There's so much more you can do to this, guys. You can add lace, you can add buttons, you can add rhinestones, all kinds of bling. For the sake of the video, though, I am trying to keep it as flat as possible because by the time we add 5 or 10 to these extra bulky inserts to our signatures, we are really going to fatten our journal up, which is okay. And like I said, I wanted to make this one really intricate. So that's why I've done so much stitching. And the stitching, of course, adds a little bit. Okay, so there's that. And this is the card I'm going to use. It's like a little walkway into a secret garden. And I don't think I'm going to do the same ribbon on that one. Yeah, this one's going to tuck down, so we're going to find a ribbon for that one. Just something cute. I kind of like the gingham. That's what I'm going to go with. Just a little piece of this gingham. Make me a pull tab. Okay. I don't need a whole lot, so I'm just going to take my finger and just get an estimate. Take that point off. Lay the rest aside. We'll use some more later. And let's decide how much we want to be a pull tab. I really don't want... I'm going to put more... No, I don't want to put too much on the back either, because that's your writing space on your card. Always remember the back of the card's your journaling space, so you just have to be careful with that too. I'm going to go with that right there. I think that's enough of a pull tab. So I'm going to put the fabric tack on again. And I'm going to trim it up. This bottle of fabric tack is nearly empty. It's almost depleted. Okay, let's start with the back. Get it where we want it. About middle way here. You mean I didn't stick my head in? That is unusual. Okay. Straighten it up a little. Put it over, and I'm going to cut off a few dots of this. So I'm going to cut it off right about there. Tab, and fold it over. Okay, now quit giving me a hard time. Okay. This is on. Alright, so we got that pull done. Put it in. Okay, so I don't like, that looks unfinished right there to me. So, so what are we going to do to make it look not so unfinished? I don't know. Yeah, that or a piece of, I think I'd rather have a piece of lace, and I don't think I've actually cut or pulled out lace for this design. My lace is over here to my left, but I had laid out a bunch of stuff. Alright, so let me swing to my left here and grab me a piece of lace. There's a small piece already kind of cut off. Yep, that'll give me my finished look that I like. I don't like that. I just didn't like how that just was in all that green. And this is really not being nice this morning. Okay, let's do a stream across the top here. I want to keep shaking my table, guys. I am so sorry. If it's frustrating y'all, can y'all imagine what it's doing for me? It's best. All right. Now I'm going to just lay it on. Smooth it at the top. Have my fingers. Clip. And clip. Now that gives it a nice finished look. I have to say that looks a lot better, guys. And because I have stitching at the bottom, I'm not going to do this, but that kind of gives it a finished off look right there. That was just kind of one of those things, you know, that just didn't look quite right. And this has fancied the card up a whole lot. It's so bland looking. So now it slides into its spot. It's not quite dry, so I'm not going to put it all the way yet. but it will slide all the way down once we got it. All right, so now, again, this is going to go into this section here. I'm going to put it in the middle. So there's nothing I can do except lay it in there right now. We cannot stitch it in yet until we stitch the signature together. We've got to come back and do a journal card for here, and I don't think I have any really large ones. Now, I did have that one I saw a while ago. It was really not, well, you know, I do have a large one here. This one could slide in. That one might could slide in, okay. Got that one. I'm not going to say that's the one we'll end up with, but because we want to see it completed, that's a pretty one too. Keep your face always toward the sunshine. The shadows will fall behind you. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you something. This card is basically done. Well, this card here. But if you would like to make some additions to this, myself, most of the time, I will print 2 of these. One just like you see it, and one on heavy cardstock. See, I backed this one, but I would print another one on just the heavy cardstock, and then I would just cut this out and paste on top of it to give it a little bit of a raised effect. So that's another thing you can do when you've got things that's got labels on them, even the butterfly or something else. But that's what we're going to put. I don't really like this green, so I really want to see what else I've got. I'm not quite happy with that one. That one's doesn't look complete, but this one's got a saying on it. Oh yeah, I like this one. I just want to spend the rest of my life perfectly content. And this one's a little big, so now I have to trim it, and I'll trim the outside edge off. Bear with me, guys. I am just simply trimming, and I'm sitting back to do it so that I don't get my head in and my scrap don't fall all over the table. And because I'm trimming that green trim around it off, I hope it's making it small enough. I'm going to leave it at the top, but I cut it off all the other sides. Let's see if it made it small enough to slide in. Ah, perfect. So we've slid it in. Now, I am going to pull it back out for a second, do my last little snippet here of adding some antique ink stain to it. Make it look old and weather-worn so that it'll blend with the actual folder that's going in. That is so cute. All right, and let's pull this one out and let's blend it out a little bit too. Put some color in it. Nothing fancy, just put it. And if you wanted to take out some of that starchness, you could just do a little bit of rubbing there. Not a lot, just a little. Take out some of that starch and white. Stick this card in. And we'll do a final look at everything. Go in, quit being a pain. You did it a while ago. All right, take a look, make sure your edges are smooth. Okay, everything looks good. Now, let's get it put in the book, and we'll just paper clip this one in too, because again, this is one we can't sew in just yet or glue in. Get all my scraps out of the way that we worked on. Okay. Put that back in place. This one goes here. This is going to wrap around this. I think we're going to go with it in the middle. I'll decide. Next we'll stain this. That's our next part, but this video is almost an hour, and so we're cutting off at this point. Okay, and put the rest of our signature. Now I am totally lost on this signature. I'm thinking it goes like this. Let me see, one. I don't know if I have done this right or not. I hope so. I'm thinking it goes like this. Now that's bad because I thought I had separated so I wouldn't have this problem. This one goes here, I think. This one goes here. I am not going to swear that we got it right, but anyway, we'll go back and look. It has to be because I haven't took any of them apart. All right, that should be in the front. Yep, because there's that. That's definitely front. And that one and that. Yep, there we go. We got it right in right order. So now it's in there. And as you see, patting this down, how thick it's already getting. And we've only got 2 inserts in this one so far. So at this point, we got to start being a little more cautious about how much bulk, because I am getting way too much bulk in the center of my book here. That wraparound really did it. But when we start stitching it in, we'll be pushing up in this corner and pushing up in this corner, and it'll bring it all in some. Okay, so everything will start straightening out. But anyway, that is the wraparound pockets that we've done today. And then this is what it looks like inside of our book. And of course, that's not the position you want it in. You can put it anywhere in your book. You can put it further in if you want. That's up to you. The further in it goes, the less it's going to push these out. That's another thing to take in mind. So we may move it from this one. I think we got another piece staying to this one. We could move it down so that we don't have so much bulk right in the middle, and that really does help. So that's another thing. Once you get it together, finding the place for it is kind of optional, especially since we don't have to stitch it in yet. Okay, this is NanaKaye saying thank you for watching. I hope you will like and subscribe. If you have any comments that you would like me to answer back, please post in the comments on this video. And if you have any suggestions or things that you would like to see done on a tutorial, please don't hesitate to request in the comments. I do try to get back to you within 24 hours. This is NanaKaye signing off. Have a beautiful rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.